Dear Silksong Eve. Well, it is Silksong Eve, but there were some videos that I took for the last 2 years or so, where every once in a while I would sit down and record a video like a message in a bottle to send it forward to the night before Silksong came out, because that was a very magical, pie in the sky, someday thing. For the record, I thought that it was going to be 2025 for a while. I made that video where I said, I can't believe you guys. I can't take your word for things anymore, Team Cherry. People were like, you're just a doubter. And maybe I was a doubter, but in my heart, I was thinking 2025. I wanted 2025. I put off wishing for it for a couple years after the Microsoft thing. Because I was like, you know what? 2025 is going to be a very Silksong flavored year, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy this week, this month. I wish it was. I'm not happy that it's the fall. I'm not happy that hard things are coming. I'm not happy that I need what I want, what I need to find in Silksong, but I am, in a deeper way, thrilled, which is a really cryptic thing to say, huh? I guess Silksong seems to, maybe, have found me in the exact perfect time, which is a very painful time, but Hollow Knight, Super Metroid, oh boy, Metroid Dread, Aria of Sorrow, man, Symphony of the Night, good old Animal Well. They all found me when I really needed them, and they did things that I don't think anything else could have done for me, for just like opening up new parts of my brain. There was somebody who said something about one of these games this week that I thought was so clever, and I saved it to my little Melovania album, and I thought it was so funny. And it was like, yeah, once you've done this game, it opens up an entire new segment of your brain just dedicated to that. And it might have been Animal Well or Super Metroid or something. That's how I feel about video games. Like, I feel like they help you really expand your horizons internally. They help you wrap your head around things that maybe you've never done. You know, like the feeling of going on a big adventure and climbing mountains with your friends, or that kind of thing, or solving a mystery, or owning a home, living in a bucolic. Bucolic means sick, doesn't it? There's some similar word that means like cottage core, like pretty European countryside. There's some similar word. Maybe it's bucolic, but really does sound like an illness word. And I feel like I've made this bit before recording something from Melovania, but yeah, usually I can guide my thoughts around and lead them to points and stuff, but I had been recording my Dear Silksong videos for a couple years, and I lost them. I noticed something was weird, and I thought that they were on my old phone, but I lost them. I remember them. I remembered like what days to look for when I was looking for them, and I was like, I think there was one around here. I think there was one around there, but I must have deleted them when I was just batch deleting a bunch of videos that were just like me and my face. I used to do like YouTube shorts, so somebody called me ugly, and there were a bunch of like vertical, just me talking to the camera after work things back in like 2023, and I must have just deleted them all, thinking they'd found their place in a video, but I threw the baby out with the bathwater, and I'm not like devastated, but it really threw me off on a day in which I was already thrown firmly off. This is, wow, Silksong Eve. I knew it'd be crazy, but wow, crazy is crazy. Crazy can really crazy, can't it? Yeah, I'm just kind of bewildered right now. I just want to capture it in its own way. I remember there was one when I was new in Japan, and I was struggling with some early moving stuff, and I was like, "Grr, you're so lucky. You enjoy that game. I was very like bitter. I remember that one. Then later there was one, maybe maybe a very similar vibe. See, if I had the message in a bottle, I'd remember more details, but the vibe was always like, this is my life, this is what I'm doing. It's not like I don't remember what I was doing. Would have hit harder if I... God, can you imagine if I started recording back during grad school, back when I got dropped into a toxic vat of Metroidvanias? That would have been... Oof. No, I remember what I was doing for the most part, but I do forget, some of the emotions. And that's kind of a crazy thing. I keep so many journals. I keep diaries. I keep journals. I actually have 3 bullet points written down about every day of my life, except for maybe 2 for the last 11 years, because I've kept such good journals. I like to remember things, but some things do slip away. And one of the craziest feelings is we're going to forget how crazy this was. We're going to forget the waiting and the silk posting and the delays or whatever, the perceived delays where we thought something was happening and then it didn't. It was this white whale, not even a video game. It was this cultural moment. It was this funny ass thing, just so much larger than life. And now that it's happening, I feel like you have to make an effort to preserve it. There's a lot out there to preserve, but even I've just had to start looking for YouTube videos and stuff that capture the funny existential silksong memories that I have before it just becomes a game, and one that apparently a lot of people play. 15 million sales on Hollow Knight. That's a video in and of itself. 15 million. That is more than carrying the entire genre on its back. It's like carrying a lot of indies on its back at that point. This game, my God, the ramifications it could have. Another one of those with even more hype, even more confidence from the start. Oh boy. Man, there were a lot of things that I got out of Animal Well last year. I'm lucky. I keep finding really good games, even though I've been saying my passion for games hasn't been quite as high as it was maybe a year and a half ago. I had a great 5 years where games were like my life, and there's still a skeletal structure of my life. It's hard to let go of a special interest like that, and I don't intend to stop having them be such a grounding thing. But yeah, even though I'm not quite as wildly passionate as I have been, things ebb and flow. I keep finding good ones. I just had the time of my life making my 100-line video. That's been a very special couple of weeks. It's funny that silksong comes on the heels of something else so special, but Animal Well, it was, oh my goodness, just it changed how I look at art. It changed how I look at art, and the idea of hiding nuggets of meaning for people to find is just such a more deeply beautiful thing to be now. I've seen people say that they feel like there's not enough story in Animal Well, and there's not a lot of story, but there's so much meaning. You know what I mean? There are stories, memories, the collection of experiences. There's no plot, there's no characters, really, but that experience and feeling those emotional beats, feeling those perspective shifts, feeling those crazy once in a lifetime, what the hell kind of moments, feeling so many of them, that experience, that adventure, it's like a story of its own, but more concretely, I don't know, I've gotten more interested in writing lyrics, reading lyrics, translating lyrics, books, anything. I've gotten more interested in that idea of just hiding nuggets of meaning for each other. I mean, I've always loved riddles and jokes and that kind of thing. There's a lot of them in my editing. Even today, so many moments where I'm like, and this piece of editing will mean this, and this scene behind that comment will mean this. And this is beautiful how people communicate, but Animal Well was such a stacked, just mine of those things ready to go off. Just a bunch of TNT bricks ready to go inside of you that it changed how I view everything. I'm just like, man, that is the best. That is so human to hide something for someone else and to have them find it. It's just so beautiful. So the fact that silksong, the fact that I can get a pulse a little bit on silksong already, the fact that they have been tucking it with things. It's like the characters are maybe what I'm most excited for. The characters. They have been making characters after characters and enemies after enemies and funny experiences that you'll have with them for years. They just keep putting things into the game. It's just, I want to see those things. I hope they're supported by a really fun, really replayable gameplay style. But I want to dig in and find those things finally. I want it to play like Metroid Dread. It looks like it's gonna play like Metroid Dread, but I want to have like a bunch of friends to meet in the game. I mean, it just looks like it's bursting with characters and people. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it could be one of the most people-rific Metroidvanias I've ever played. But man, yeah, I feel so humbled lately. Like getting thrown into a toxic vat makes you a little goofy, and every Metroidvania that's really impacted me, they impact me in such a deep way that I act funny, and I act like they're very serious. You know, like when something moves you so deeply, it becomes important. You act like this is very deep. This is very important. This is very serious. We should really take care of this. Like it's almost like a spiritual thing. If these games with these patterns can impact me as a person so deeply, then there must be something really important there, right? But I feel like I have to kind of take a step back and just remember to enjoy the games for what they are and just kind of hold them as like small living beasts, not just points in a giant constellation or writings in a big book of time. It's been weird. Like I really hit a burnout point with the channel when it was teetering for like a year. It was teetering. I'm like, I just can't tell what to do with my relationship with Metroidvanias right now. I don't know if I should put more focus on them or take a break. I really didn't know. I was genuinely teetering on, will this year be more Metroidvanias or less? Will it be more variety or more focus with a different approach? I couldn't tell you, but I still don't know. I mean, I know. The easy answer, the true answer is to expand, because the channel is warping. The channel is becoming something that I don't have a plan for. I'm just raising it like a living thing and seeing what happens, which is very scary, because make Metroidvania videos, talk about Metroidvanias, that was very simple, but it didn't work the way that I wanted it to. I ended up being kind of burned out. I ended up being really tired. And, when you say it like that in a video online, for all posterity, like a message in a bottle, it sounds very serious. I don't know how burned out I am. I still love them. But yeah, where did that come from? Was it just because I played too many? Was it because I took my opinions so seriously and in reality I was still such a beginner? I mean, there are people who play hundreds and hundreds of these games, and I just played 3 times as many as anybody that I knew. And then I saw the big fish. And it's like, what kind of stomach do you have to play 300 Metroidvanias? I mean, these people are all middle-aged, but I'm kind of middle-aged. I'm like middle-aging. I'm aging. I don't know, dude. I had this mission, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And I like having a mission. And I'm definitely getting senses for the evolution, It's like make videos about Metroidvanias. I'm not killing that Pokemon. I'm letting it evolve. It's evolving right now. The more fuel I put into the fire, the more that original mission, the more the spirit of it comes through. And I really like that. But it hasn't changed the fact that Metroidvanias are funny right now. It's been 5 years since Hollow Knight caused this. It's been 5 years. It was this really crazy experience. I would always wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning back then. It was a tough time. And I usually sleep through the night pretty well. But I remember I would wake up and I would what would I do? Like put on space lights? I somehow made my whole bedroom purple. And I would listen to like Beach House. Beach House is, if you know, it goes all the way back with Hollow Knight. And I would listen to some of the more spacey songs from Caro Caro Bonito in the house. Some of those songs just really helped me capture that moment. I was playing Majora's Mask too. It was also August. I mean, it's September now. I don't really want it to be September, but it is September. And it was weird. And it was one of my first times really dwelling on dark emotions. Like, it's easy to kind of bottle them away and be hyper positive and just not engage with them much, but I kind of feel like I had no option forward but through. And that's been my life for a long time now. But Hollow Knight was a moment where I was able to kind of play with those dark emotions and take comfort in them. And heaven knows that's become, or maybe that's always been, a very important thing. It's just funny, you know? Lately, I feel like I've been overdosed on the dark. I've been overdosed on darkness, and I need more of that cozy stuff. I've been binging Layton and Zelda and stuff that makes you feel kind of like at peace. And, you know, the more different things I experience, the more I can see the cozy and the peaceful in something like Hollow Knight. I mean, it's like the most Ghibli game I own, probably. More my kind of Ghibli than Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, probably. And, yeah, it's there. It's really there. And I struggle sometimes to be with that, like, peaceful, natural energy, the clear water I'm staring at right now. It can be tough. I don't know. When you're sometimes it's perfect. Sometimes it's like too much nature, too much bliss, too much peace, too much comfort. But it's all a big thing. But point is, it's easy to get caught up in things when things are dark and weird and scary and hard to understand and everything's super deep. It's easy to get caught in a labyrinth. Speaking as somebody who was a diehard Radiohead fan and just dissociated through middle school, you can get lost in those labyrinths. So it's really cool how much dark labyrinth has manifested into this channel. Even when I'm just streaming visual novels, even when I'm just drawing, even when I'm just goofing off, there's still that labyrinth. It's still there. It's still there, but it's less lonely. And it's less cold. It's less cold, isn't it? I got that idea from Project Sekai. Maybe I'm emotionally stunted. Maybe these games have a lot to teach. I don't know which is which. Project Sekai, there's this idea of like creating dark music with warmth, creating dark music that's cold, it's scary. There was an opening act I saw for Kikuo, represent Stream Gang. We all watch Kikuo Vocaloid music videos right now on the breaks. And the opening act, they were cool. They were very cool. They were like tight, bitey, awesome, just like gripping dance music, heavy guitar stuff, just really sick. Like, yeah, like I could nut to that, but it was missing like the warmth. Like there was a hole in my chest. It wasn't warm music. Kikuo was weird, but there was so much more warmth once Kikuo brought on his version of dark labyrinths and strange spooky vibes. I felt that very profoundly. That first group was so cool, but they were just cold. I was very moved physically, but there was still something in my chest that was missing. Yeah. It's a lot of wandering around life to just get back to the most basic questions of all, but at the same time, that doesn't sound too crazy, does it? That sounds pretty normal. And I'm posting this on YouTube, by the way. I still am. I don't know. I just have been feeling lately like sometimes you can't put pressure on things, you know? That's like the easiest thing in the world. I felt all this crazy deep stuff about Metroidvanias. I put so much pressure on them. Everyone, gotta make a video, gotta have thoughts about it. It was fun, I could support it, but when you're functioning at that level of, this is so important, it's intense. And any change in your stance, any change in how you engage with the thing, it can really throw everything off. And I think eventually that pressure really got to me. Like, yeah, I've been noodling with Ultros the whole summer, and I can barely play it. There's so much that I love about it. It's beautiful, it's really cool, but I just can't. I've been so burned out on Metroidvanias that even seeing the item progression in Enna Dream Barbecue or Deltarune Chapter 4, like the singular items that you get to progress, the human bone planter thing, God, it's been a crazy year. Or the climbing hooks in the church, I was like, bleh. item progression. Because, like, I don't know. I loved item progression so much. I put so much pressure on it, and now there's this weird burnout in my chest. Maybe it's just depression. Maybe it's just depression, but it's spooky. I want to keep a space for that, you know? I'm so full of a crazy energy from the bottom of my being when I see silksong that I'm not going to wait. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to greet it tomorrow. Just maybe lightly, maybe just a little bit, maybe just a peek until I'm in the mood to properly play it. But yeah, I've really, even the most fundamental parts of Metroidvanias, whether it's the dark emotions, whether it's the item progression, it's all been tough. I've been in a weird place with them. And I'm so grateful that I have all of these games to go back to. I love having them around, but it's really scary. They've been my rock for so long, and I'm glad I'm expanding and finding other rocks, but it's Silksong Eve, and I'm worried that I'm not even going to be in the mood for Silksong tomorrow. It's really scary. I should get to bed. Getting to bed would help for sure, but man, I have to be honest. There was a tornado last night. I've never seen a tornado. And I woke up at like 2 or 3 a.m. the way that I used to do during the Hollow Knight days. Not a sign of good health. And there was supposed to be a Donald Trump direct at 3 a.m. And I didn't know if he was going to step down as president or declare genocide on a new group of people or declare martial law or something like that. I didn't know what was going to happen, but my adrenaline was going, and there's lightning. There's so much lightning. I was like, okay, I've always been a thunderstorm enjoyer, but I never grew up near tornadoes. And, I was rocking with it. I was like, this is cool. But then it got to be too much lightning and too quick, and everything just seemed very violent, and the sky seemed dark. And I was like, oh, this could be something. And I looked, and where I'm living was marked for like the highest possible tornado warning for that hour. So I was really panicking and trying to calm myself down, and it's still scary actually, just remembering the lightning flashes. Like, it's like they were cutting through me. I usually lightning's cool, but every flash I just had to turn over like, okay, let's calm down, let's not panic, no more lightning, let's not look at the lightning. Every little thing, just every flash was like a little bit sickening. Like, oh, okay. Turns out there's not much you can do in a tornado. You just have to like go to the safest part of your house, which to me is it's a very small apartment. So I just kind of had to lay there and be like, I'm pretty sure things will be fine. And it's a crazy experience. I mean, I was on adrenaline. Freaking politics thing didn't amount to damn near anything, which I'm mad about. I was pretty nervous about that. But I was just laying there with adrenaline on adrenaline, and the lightning was, every single flash of lightning was getting to me, and the wind was getting to me. And I was like, yeah, this is what Silksong Eve feels like. It's not what I expected. It is very crazy, but it's something different. Just life is coming at me so fast. Career stuff. Gotta really, as of the fall, I have to start thinking about career stuff and moving in uncomfortable ways, and work has been tough. Just a lot of pressure, a lot of tough stuff is on my shoulders. God, I would love Silksong to help. It's a lot of pressure, but it comes in a long line of Metroidvanias doing a lot of good at just the perfect time for me. So yeah, I feel like I'm on the battlefield, and I'm pretty scared, and I'm getting pretty overwhelmed. And like an angel, Silksong showed up. I don't know. Maybe we can drink some tea together and listen to some music. See if that helps. Sure was funny though. I was like, man, September looks terrible. September looks so bad. Every day I have to struggle so much to fight for figuring out what I want to do with my career and all this heavy stuff, all this heavy adult stuff. Not the deep, dark corner of your heart type of thing that Hollow Knight and many other Metroidvanias helped me face, but, well, more like Metroid actually. Metroid did help me with these things back in the day. So I guess in a way I'm saying Silksong is hitting like Metroid right now. I don't know. I look at it, and I look at the way that she's fighting to get up. And I looked at some stuff. And I realized Team Cherry pitched Hollow Knight as a journey down. And I was like, nah, it's just me. It's just me. Only I see Hollow Knight as a journey down, because to me, the abyss and the stuff down there is like the most important. I'm like, nah, that's just me. But if you look at the promotional material, it's almost the same as Silksong, and they say descend to the depths or something like that. So they're paralleling them. Silksong is about going up. Hollow Knight's about going down. So I feel that strongly. I feel that very strongly. That specifically is speaking to me. That's one of the first things I connected with about Silksong is I love that. I love fighting to get up. Like, I want to fight to get up with Hornet tomorrow. That's all I feel. that's just how I feel. It's a very small order for a Metroidvania. I put so much pressure on them. They do these crazy, profound things. They make me feel so much. They change so many things in my heart. So I see one, it's like, hey, you. Something really crazy might happen right now if I play you. So it's not what I thought Silksong Eve would be like. It's pretty badass, honestly. I'm glad I can remember this. And, God. So many battles. So many adventures. 5 years of Hollow Knight. Now I need another 5,000 to process them.